It's time for the main event. It's the Shoeshine.
All right, everybody. It's your boy Dave from the 408 coming to you all the way from my podcast studio in San Jose, California. You know what it is. It's the Shoeshine Monday nights where friends from around the country, from around the world, get together to talk about the sweet science. Just joining me in his co-host chair, all the way from Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, my co-host, Drew Evo. Drew, ¿qué pasa, homie?
A little minor difficulty, but we got that taken care of now.
I'm glad we got it taken care of just in time. Just to remind you guys, this is an active show, and I appreciate everyone who tunes in live on Monday nights. There's a phone number, it's 702-710-3627. If you want to get down with the Shoeshine and let us know what was your favorite boxing match of the weekend. We're also live on YouTube, and you can participate in the chat and share it. Some shout outs to our good friends Leave It in the Ring, David Dueñas, and everyone else who supports us. Drew, it was a hell of a good weekend for boxing, man. There was a lot to watch, daytime, evening, pay-per-view, and I just want to get this out of the way. My predictions were way off, and I had to eat it. I called two upsets, and I got them both wrong. But you know something, dude? About that one main event, the Davis versus Barrios fight, I ended up watching Robert Garcia, who's, a Hall of Fame trainer. Robert Garcia basically said exactly what I said, came out of his mouth was what I was saying. Really, I'm rooting for Barrios, but deep down inside, if I had to actually put down money on it, it wouldn't have been a smart bet. That's for sure. So I did say a lot, not only on our show, but on the round table over on D-Style's YouTube boxing channel. I said a lot on Thursday about that pick. Some things did come true, but I really got Lomachenko versus Nakatani wrong, and I can't wait to get your reaction because you got that one right. And not only did you get that right, but over there on the other side, our counterparts, a lot of people had Nakatani like I did, but D-Styles, who you did the pie bet with, he had Lomachenko, and we'll get into Lomachenko. But listen, in the afternoon, I know if you caught this fight, but DAZN's doing some big things. Eddie Hearn's really trying to keep Canelo Alvarez over at DAZN, and they've got this series throughout the summer in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Guadalajara, the home of tequila, and they put on some great fights on Saturday afternoon, dude, on DAZN. I just want to know your thoughts about that, man. First of all, the strategy move of Eddie Hearn trying to appease Canelo Alvarez and his promotional company and putting on fights in Mexico this summer.
Well, so far so good.
So far so good.
Yep. Like, what else can you do? You gotta please them somehow. You might as well have a Mexican card. Every week now they're going to have a Mexican show?
I think they're going to have it. And you know what? My mom is really tuning into them. Shout out to Bella Bling in the room who says, I think Dave needs to take a pie with some extra whipped cream.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I have not put myself out there like that yet, Drew. That's for sure. But yeah, let's get into this because, that's definitely not the right picture I wanted to put up here. But that's not the right picture either. Technical difficulties here. There we go, man. El Rey. He is the WBC flyweight champion, third defense title for Martinez. Drew, this guy is just mean, dude. He is mean. Like, he seriously fights with some bad intentions. And this guy, Cordova from Mexico City, I was amazed, man, because to be honest, I wasn't expecting this performance from the opponent, and things looked like for a little while, this fight didn't go the entire 12 rounds, but for a while, it looked like this guy was giving him a run for his money. And like most fighters from Mexico City, they come to fight. And he didn't come to lose. He had quite a few losses on his record. He gave the guy Martinez some work, but a lot of things that I enjoy about Martinez still, man, he's just punches with some seriously bad intentions. The body shots, the combinations, man. And he ended up getting the stoppage win. We got a friend in here. I don't know if he's a friend of yours, but Jerkface85 says, "Hey, Drew." All right, Drew.
I don't know what that is, but okay. Thanks.
If you caught some of those the highlights from that, but on that Martinez fight, that Mexican card, what were your thoughts on him, man? Because he's kind of quickly transforming into a Mexican star.
You know what? When you got a guy that's fighting, that's traveling for and everything, normally not going to receive many title shots and everything. That guy fought like this was going to be his only one and only title shot. So he really fought like it. It really looked like he was fighting like this is my only opportunity as a title match. It just like who wanted it more, and like with Martinez, once he has you hooked, you finish.
Yeah,
that's flat out. He has you hooked, you're done. You're most likely done. And like it was sensational stoppage. Was it premature? No, it wasn't a premature stoppage. It looked like he was about out of there. So,
yeah. And you said that, he's got them finishing instincts for a champion, which to me is like super key, super essential. And that seemed to be the running theme, because one thing from all the big fights this weekend is that the champion or former champion like Lomachenko, he put on a finishing performance that I haven't seen in a long time. And I, despite saying like the biggest thing I've got to eat my words on is that Gervonta Davis, I accused him. My whole point was that I thought he was going to be like Adrian Broner or a Mikey Garcia, whose power was not going to transfer up the divisions at 140 pounds. But Gervonta Davis is a mean dude. Like, he really will finish you with some evil, bad intentions. Do you agree with that, or you disagree with that? That's the running theme with all the guys who had big wins this weekend.
Yeah, like Davis has power. That's all he has going for him and everything. He does like display his hand speed, but it's only in spurts, not like all the time, like some of these fighters do. But like Tank's good for the competition that he's fighting so far. But we're gonna get the Tank when we talk about that fight. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves right now.
Yeah. Or we could jump right into this. I mean, if you're watching the summer series that Eddie Hearn or DAZN is putting on in Jalisco, Guadalajara, which is the hometown of Canelo Alvarez, they're very good. If you haven't seen them, go watch the highlights on YouTube, because that was a really, really good card and a great way to start the afternoon for boxing fans on Saturday. But the real treat after that was this ESPN, the return of pound for pound, once a pound for pound guy, Vasily Lomachenko. And I had my doubts, man. My doubts were really loud. I was really vocal. I didn't think that shoulder injury had healed. There's a lot of people, Drew, think that shoulder injury was an excuse and was BS for the loss he faced against Teo. So after that fight, after that dominating performance against Nakatani, and I had Nakatani supposedly winning, now I got to reevaluate everything. Was Lomachenko simply having an off night against Teofimo Lopez? Was there really a shoulder injury, because now it's miraculously healed, like Manny Pacquiao? Or is Teofimo Lopez, does he just have too much power and it changed Lomachenko's game plan in that first fight? We might have a second fight, and people were really excited about that, man. What is it, dude? Which one is it? Is the shoulder injury was having a bad night? Does Teofimo Lopez just punch too hard?
Here's the thing, man. Like, I really want like people to stop making excuses and everything, because at the end of the day, when I put my opinion out on people who I think's gonna win fights and everything, like it's my opinion. I'm entitled to it.
Mm-hmm.
And people have a habit of calling people fanboys because they don't think that the favorite fighter is gonna win and everything. They're gonna automatically call them fanboys because they're against their favorite fighter and everything. But Lomachenko had history of shoulder problems. He clearly wasn't fighting with that on that right side for at least 6 rounds. He started really slowly, but then and then out of nowhere, he just at round 4, he started going, and he started having success. He started giving Teofimo problems backing up on his back foot boxing. And he showed Teofima's one of his weaknesses, that Teofimo has problems backing up and fighting at the same time. And at the end of the day, I don't care if you had it 9-3, 11-1. That was a close fight. That was a 7-5 fight. I had it.
Yeah, I know last week it was really entertaining because some people got it kind of confused that you had it 7-5 in favor of Lomachenko, but you cleared that up. That is a very close fight. 7-5 in your eyes is a very close fight. It can easily be swayed by one round and just be a draw. So 7-5 is close. Actually, I think I had it like 8-4. But the fact is Lomachenko came on way too late, but he did turn on later in that first fight. But in this fight, because we're talking about Loma versus Nakatani, Nakatani is now an opponent that they both have together. They've both knocked out Nakatani, right? Saludos to Chicano Prophet. What's up, homie? Thank you for jumping in the room. They both have Nakatani, and they both disposed of him. Who did a better job?
Teofimo went all 12 rounds with him and won a decision. Let's get that.
Oh, damn. Right now. Okay, all right.
Lomachenko was the one that stopped Nakatani. And guys, you can say that he got Teofimo's leftovers and everything. You can say it till you're blue in the face. But Lomachenko looked a hell of a lot better versus Nakatani because the old Loma was there. The Lomachenko has the best footwork in boxing today. And I don't care if you're going to call me a fanboy or not. It's true. Because that's your only comeback that, oh, Drew, you're a fanboy. But if you don't call that great footwork, you out of your damn mind, and you must be stupid if you don't see that was great footwork. That whole fight.
I will agree with you on that. That was sensational use of ring generalmanship. But here's something that was startling to me, Drew. This is something that some of only the greatest of all time, like a Floyd Mayweather, but he had 49% connectivity rate of all punches landed over 9 rounds. 49%. That's a complete shutout. So it just begs the question. The question is, Teofimo Sr. was there. Teofimo Sr. is a very vocal father, coach. Saludos to Run PMC. Teofimo's dad has been on the with D Styles and G Funky. I mean, he's a very gracious guy. He was there. He was impressed. He seems very excited to make this rematch because that was the performance that's going to sell this. This is going to be pay-per-view. If Bob doesn't make this one pay-per-view, then what is pay-per-view worthy? This rematch has to be pay-per-view.
I gotta ask Chicano, how am I hating on Teofimo, man?
He hasn't yet.
How am I hating on Teofimo? Seriously, man, because I'm giving you points about Lomachenko. That's what's wrong with people these days. They always think that you're going against one fighter, you're gonna hate on somebody. Here's the thing, man. I understand you love Teofimo, man, but you gotta take it easy, man. And
I don't think it's a war of fanboy or whatever nonsense.
Because at the end of the day,
just try to get under his skin.
I wasn't a walking billboard during that Canelo fight, wearing all that Canelo gear, man. Like, I could walk you around in the streets of Philly, man, and you can advertise that fight with all your Canelo gear on, man. But hey, let's just say facts there.
Chicano Prophet is free to call in the room. We're not discussing the second fight. Well, we are discussing the rematch potential here because something that I just read today, and this is interesting news, is that Teofimo Lopez's camp is interested in it, but they are going to be making some serious stipulations if Lomachenko wants this rematch, okay? There's going to be some stipulations attached, but I'm pretty sure that the boxing public, the fans that drive the sport, are interested in this rematch, okay? That's something that we have to agree upon, is that people want to see this rematch now. And moving into the fight later in the night, there's a lot of people saying, why won't Gervonta Davis fight the winner of Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko? Is he really a lightweight? Is he really a lightweight? The phone lines are open if anybody wants to call in and have it out with Drew. Chicano Profes, Santel Media. Saludos. Thank you guys for coming in the room. I know a lot of people are broadcasting right now, and we do appreciate it. But going back to the Loma Nakatani thing, Nakatani has had a series of orbital bone injuries, and this year we've seen a lot of them that have been very detrimental. It looks like Saunders, if we were just talking about Canelo, his career could be completely over. But Drew, I saw Loma pinpointing with some super accuracy on that eye and trying to mess things up. Do you think Nakatani's eye is going to be a problem going forward? He's already busted it twice, and we do have a caller here.
You know what? When it comes to like Nakatani having eye injuries like that, it could be a problem going forward. But like Loma, he just like it was calm. It was everywhere on that face. He was doing damage and everything. It was just like damn. He made dude look like an amateur.
Yeah, it wasn't a good performance by Nakatani. I was way off. Hey, 714, you're on the Shoeshine. What's up?
What's up? This is speech impediment, man. How you doing, Shoeshine boy?
All right, everybody in the chat, if you're listening, this is my friend, Speech Impediment Man, a well-known comedian who's been part of the Howard Stern Show, and now you're traveling around with those other guys, not the Opie and Anthony, but the Compound Media Tour. Is that right? True.
Compound Media, yeah. We're going to be doing Cleveland, the funny stop, August 21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
All right, Speech. So this is a boxing show. You've been on this show as one of the casual fan segment people, but I understand you got some big news. You're going to be in Las Vegas this weekend, right? So if anyone is out there, tell me where you're going to be this weekend.
Well, I'm going to be at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. My buddy Shuli Agar, who I've been doing comedy with since the 90s. He's going to be performing at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club at the MGM. I'm going to be there for Friday night show and Saturday night show.
Now, there's going to be a lot of fireworks. I mean, I hear there's going to be 3 days of fireworks in the city of Las Vegas. And there's a brand new casino for you to check out that everyone is talking about. So make sure when you're done with that you and Shuli go over there and check out the new Resorts World International just down the road on the Strip, because that casino looks amazing. But listen, we're talking about fireworks, and I know that you like the heavyweights. Now, you got a Tyson Fury versus Wilder pick while you're on the show here. Speech, you want to give me a prediction? Because that is July.
I gotta go with Gypsy King Tyson Fury. He's my man. I mean, any guy Wilder that would come up with a reason why he lost it, the costume was too heavy, is just an idiot. I mean,
there you go.
Either he's afraid or Gypsy King is in his head, and there's once a fighter gets in another fighter's head, it's over. I mean, that's Ali was a master at that, getting into people's heads.
You know what?
I mean, he
was
was not always the best fighter. It was just he could get in their head.
I agree with you.
Doubt.
Well, there you have it. A professional comedian's perspective, and you've been following this just a little bit, and you know just enough to know that somebody is in somebody else's head, and that's probably going to have an impact, man. Speech, I really appreciate you calling me. But to everyone else who doesn't know, just to let people know, we're working on something behind the scenes. If you're a fan of the Howard Stern Show, to get out there for Labor Day, and I'll keep you filled in because we might be taking over Fremont Street. If you're a Vegas fan, you're going to be there at Labor Day. Keep tuned here. We'll fill you in. Hey, Speech, I'll talk to you later, and you have a great show at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club at the MGM. All right, buddy. Take care.
Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
So, Drew, he did not mention the fact that you owe him $50 still. So, and Chicano Prophet is in the room, and he probably doesn't know. But listen, Run PMC says, do I know Howard Stern, Dave? You know what? Here's the deal. I screwed up my opportunity to meet Howard Stern. I didn't fly out when I was invited, and I'm never going to get that chance again, and that's life. So if you ever get a chance to do something, don't pass on it. Don't pass on it, because sometimes things don't happen twice. Go ahead, Drew.
You know, we got 8 people in here watching here, and we only got 2 likes. Need to hit that like button, and subscribe to the show. Get some more, it helps us out if you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Or even drop me a comment and let us know you don't like us or we stink, because apparently comments help with the algorithm. Anyways, Johnny Reyes is in the room. I was just saying, I'm surprised he didn't ask you for that $50, because sometimes he calls me. He goes, "Where's that Philly shithead?" He owes me $50.
Damn, he's gonna call me a shithead now. We bonded. We had a bond.
No, you guys are very cordial now. But listen, I think Chicano Prophet's coming after you. I think he wants to make a wager on this rematch. There's no date, but people are already excited. There's talk. I was just sharing the news that they're going to make it a little rough on Loma if he wants this. They're going to have to go by Teofimo's stipulations. But I think this fight's ultimately going to be made by Bob. People want it. It was free the first time. The second time around, it ain't going to be free. Johnny Reyes, if you want to call in, feel free to. He says, ta.
Don't backpedal on me, Drew. What the fuck you talking about backpedal on you? What the hell are you, Johnny?
No, that's Chicano Prophet, and he can call in. If you want to make the wager now, Chicano, go ahead. I think we got a call here. We'll take this quick call because we're going to move on to the Gervonta.
See it in chat.
We're going to move on to the Gervonta Davis Barrios El Azteca. All right, you are on the Shoeshine. We're about to get into the Gervonta Davis versus Mario El Azteca. Barrios, do you have anything to add, caller?
Yo, what's up? What's up, Drew? What's up, Drew? Jaguars, baby. Super Bowl 2021, 2022.
Oh, fuck the Jaguars, dude.
Right?
Stop talking about the Jaguars in this fucking boxing.
Hey, come on, bro. Come on, dude.
Boxing, goddamn it.
Fucking ass. I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. Hey, I stuck my hand on a dildo. I stuck my hand on a dildo in my production company.
Okay.
Please.
Johnny Reyes, since I told you to call, we're not talking about sex toys. And we're not talking about.
No, I smashed my hand. Come on, guys. Give me some sympathy, man.
Johnny,
put the violin.
We're also not talking about your team that's always losing. I'm talking the Jaguars, okay? This is a Niners, Raiders, primarily audience, okay? We're not talking about those two teams now. Did you catch any of these pay-per-view fights?
Freak Raiders. No, I didn't make it, man, but choking Raiders. Lamb chops.
Drew, do you understand anything? Girls. Do you understand anything he's saying?
Can we hang up on him now?
I want to. I'm just going to give Johnny. I'm going to give you.
Hey, Drew, your Eagles, man. Goodbye, bro. Goodbye.
Johnny, I'm going to give you one more opportunity to comment on the boxing of this weekend or coming up. Now, what's your comment about the sport of boxing?
De La Hoya come back and win it all, bro. De La Hoya come back and win it all.
He's going to come back and win it all. That is the casual fan. All right, Johnny. Hey, by the way, Johnny, I got something cooking up for Labor Day weekend in Las Vegas, and I'll talk to you about that later, man. But thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it. I know you're very busy. Peace.
Hey, Drew.
Don't tell me you shoot blanks, Johnny. Please do not tell me
you shoot. Your Eagles suck, bro. Your Eagles.
All right, there you have it. The Eagles suck is his last words. The two words he had to say that I understood were that the Eagles suck and that De La Hoya is going to come back and take it all. Wow. All right. What a show, man. And next weekend is a holiday. We're probably not coming. Run PMC says Raiders. You know what? Raider Nation and the Niners, man. But there was some startling news, man. I don't even want to get into it, man. But the first gay player, and this is during Pride Month, that's openly gay has come out from the Raiders, man. I don't even know what to say about that. But look, times are changing, and everyone's just going to have to adjust to that, right? But anyways, I still would love to see a Raiders game up in Las Vegas, and I can't wait till they have a fight. But let's get on to the main event of the weekend because so much was at stake with this fight. The battle for the WBA baby belt. That's right, the baby belt, the paper belt. Mario El Azteca Barrios versus Little Tank Davis. Gervonta, is he the future Mayweather? And if you guys want to call on this one, please do, because look, there's a lot of anytime that African-American fighters and Mexican fighters fight, they try to get us to race bait on social media and try to feed us that, Mario Barrios is a champion, he's great. And I specifically said on the roundtable, on HCP's roundtable, Mario Barrios is not a top 5 140-pound fighter. He is not the Tornado, Josh Taylor. He's not second best like Regis Prograis. He can't beat Jose Ramirez, in my opinion, who just had 2 belts. Now it doesn't have any. I don't think he can beat Jose Zepeda or Ivan Barancek or Victor Postol. So that puts Mario Barrios somewhere like number 7 for me. But he's a title holder. And one thing Floyd did masterfully, Drew, is that they knew that Mario Barrios' chin would betray him. Is that the moral of the story? Or is Tank Davis really going to be a real champ at 140? Please, somebody let me know in the chat or give us a call. Is Tank Davis going to be a dominant force at 140 pounds?
Come on, guys. Anybody call it to make an excuse. Make up one if you want. Because I'm damn sure not going to make up one.
Or should we be congratulating him? Should we? I mean, he's got power.
He won a paper belt, a secondary belt at best. Tell you the truth. And PBC promotes it as a real championship fight. It wasn't.
No, they were doing radio ads in the Bay Area. And I don't know what the numbers are going to be. But I figure it sold well. I figure it had to have done well as a pay-per-view, and you had a lot of people talking. I mean, you got casual fan engagement, and now they think that he's a legitimate 140-pound champion. But the most startling comments to me were the ones that Floyd made after the fight, and those comments are that we're at PBC, and under my management, we're just going to fight PBC fighters. We're not going to give money away to other promotional outfits. And Drew, Top Rank has all the top 140-pound fighters. I mean, that's why I don't put Mario Barrios in that upper elite group. They don't have anybody solid. I mean, right now you got Regis Prograis. And give me your thoughts on Regis Prograis, where he stands, because he was supposed to fight he fought on Trilla, but he's a free agent.
You know, you finally agree with me that Regis Prograis is the second best fighter in that division.
But that's after I saw Jose Ramirez's disappointing performance. If anybody gave Josh Taylor problems and maybe beat him in a lot of people's eyes, it's Regis Prograis, who's he's a free agent.
Let me be honest, and I'm gonna come up to a point. PBC, Heyman, Floyd Mayweather clearly do not care about Gervonta Tank Davis, because at the end of the day, they don't care about this kid's legacy, because this kid doesn't have one right now, and he's probably not going to have one with the way they're going to go. This kid's never going to make no more than $3 million a fight, because everybody's fighting is nobody knows him, low rank, washed up. What else can I say about the opponents Tank Davis has? Because the problem is, when Floyd said, we're going to keep it in-house, Floyd said he doesn't want the smoke from Teofimo. Yes, Chicano, I said Teofimo, so calm down. Don't get hyped now. Lomachenko, Ryan Garcia, which I really don't care too much for, and I really think that's a 50-50 fight with Tank and Ryan Garcia. And Devin Haney, which I really think if Tank catches him one good time with a hard punch, he's probably knocking Devin Haney out.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Those are all great opponents, because I still see Tank as someone who could possibly, Like, if you were going to sell me a narrative, the narrative for me would be that Tank can clean out the 135-pound division. But I need to see him try. I mean, I need to hear from Floyd that he wants these fights with these big names. And honestly, if you want to sell some pay-per-view numbers, man, I know you don't like Ryan Garcia, but he's got that superstar social media following. I think he smokes and knocks out Ryan Garcia, and I think he knocks out the other young champion, and that's Devin Haney, man. Those are two fights that Gervonta Davis needs to be clamoring for those fights. He needs to say, give me those fights, and let's marinate on Teofimo or the Loma fight. Let those two marinate.
I really think both Lomachenko and Teofimo stop Tank Davis.
You think those two? Now that's a good compliment. That's a great compliment, actually, and hopefully it puts people like Chicano Prophet, who think you don't give enough due credit to Teofimo, ammunition in the other direction, because that's really a great compliment that Teofimo stops Tank Davis and Lomachenko stops. And both of them, Lomachenko put on a spectacular performance. I mean, it was a shutout and it was a decisive KO victory, just like Tank's.
But like, if we look at it, 140, who can you possibly put against him at 140? Mikey Garcia? Adrian Broner?
Adrian
Broner came off a fight where he should have lost the fight, like big time, and he was gifted a decision.
Well, I got a caller. I have a caller that says he's got an opponent for Gervonta Davis. Okay, you have an opponent for Gervonta Davis.
Okay, Danny, what's up, man? What's up?
Wow, I thought I just talked to you.
Boxing, you know what? Boxing, you don't have to say no more, man. Boxing is they got no star players, man. They got no star fighters as to people want to watch. I mean.
Oh, okay. So that's the problem. There's no stars, huh? Now, you got a star in mind? You got someone that could take over the sport right now? If it's not Gervonta Tank Davis, then who's going to be the future star of boxing, sir?
I think it's someone from the Russian guy, man. I mean, he was robbed at one time.
The Russian guy. Does the Russian guy have a name? Does the Russian guy have a name?
I forgot. I'm Drago.
All right. Put it in the chat when you think of the Russian guy's name, okay? I appreciate the call. Thank you very much for the call.
You don't know. You always said in the fight, he goes, I must break you. I must break you.
Oh, okay. I think it was the guy from the Rocky movie. I think he's talking about the Rocky movie, man. I think that. But anyways, Drew, we're talking about Gervonta Davis before we were rudely interrupted again. Gervonta Davis being a new star, but his quality of opponents. But let's just talk about one thing. Now, Canelo Alvarez did something like that. We're talking about Russian fighters and whatnot. But when he moved up to light heavyweight and took on Kovalev, that was kind of the same kind of genius move that you see Floyd Mayweather do throughout his career. Say, I'm going to take and find the easiest opponent at the next weight class or 2 weight classes above. And Canelo, he took 2 weight classes, exactly like Gervonta Davis, and took out a former champion or a current champion. There's a lot of similarities in that power move. Eventually, Canelo did one thing. He said, you know what? I'm not really a light heavyweight. That was kind of a one-time deal. Is that what Gervonta Davis is going to do? He's going to come back down to 135?
Yo, do you see you saw the press conference after the fight, right? They asked Gervonta about who he wants to fight next. He put Floyd on the spot, and he's like this. Oh, you got to ask Floyd about that. And they put the camera right on Floyd. He's like, well, we're not gonna fight. We're keeping it in-house. We're not gonna give money to help other promoters make money. It's all about fighting in-house and PBC brand and everything. Like, who gives a flying fuck at the end of the day what the fuck you say, Floyd? But let me just say something. You never tell them that's your fucking plan. Even though that's your plan, you never fucking tell them that. Because who the fuck wants to watch Tank now? Who's gonna watch Tank now? I want to know those fucking fanboys, PBC fanboys, that are gonna make every awesome excuse in the book that he's the next Tyson and everything. Come on. You never fucking tell them your fucking exact plan. You lie about it. You sweeten it up a little bit. God damn, Floyd. You're slipping. I think you getting hit by Logan Paul or fucking, realizing you Father Time has actually kicked you in the ass a couple times already that weekend, that you're grown a lot stupid. Even though you can't read Cat in a Hat, but come on now.
503, you're on the Shoeshine. What's up?
What's happening, fellas? This is the Chicano Prophet calling in.
Hey,
Oh my God!
Hey,
Thank
Chicano.
God somebody
We got
that knows boxing calls the fucking show.
I think we have a little bit of bad
man,
connection.
Oh, are you? Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, it's like tripping out. It's kind of modulated, but I think I'll try to do the best to hear your point. Go ahead and make your point. I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, man. For sure, man. I just wanted to call and say I agree with you guys. I think that it's purely just a money-making operation at this point with Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather. And it's working, man. It's like he can go around saying he's like a three-title guy. I'll tell you what, I had some friends who are casuals who know about Tank because of me. And then after that fight, I was saying, don't give him too much credit. This guy is barely a top 10. And they were both like, well, what do you mean top 10? Like, this guy's a champion. Like, it's working. It's going to be a money-making operation. And I have to say that I do like Tank. I think he's very good. But, he's cherry-picking his way towards being big. And it is what it is. And we just have to accept it. Because like Drew said, man, they're telling us to our faces it's happening.
Man, and you made a good point, but really it was either my digital voice line is tripping out, man. I really want to call you back and have you reiterate that point, but I'll do my best because when you hear it back, man, there's something going on wrong with our phone lines. So if you want to call right back, go ahead. Sound good?
All right, thanks, man.
All right, man, thanks you.
Yep. Bye.
So, he's saying right now that he does agree that they're kind of cherry picking their way towards building his career, and that's something that a lot of great. Even Floyd did that masterfully throughout his career. Once he got reins of his own career and left Bob Arum, he was able to do that. Fight the guys at the right time, or fight them on their way out. As like a Kovalev or whatnot. But the casual fans don't seem to mind or know the difference, and they're making this valid. They're trying to make a valid argument that he's the face of boxing. How far will that go? I'm debating that in my own head. Is there space for him and Canelo Alvarez at the same time? No, he's laughing. Listen, he's laughing so hard, but seriously, American fans want someone to root for in America. Not everyone's going to be rooting for Canelo Alvarez just because I say he's the face of boxing, but there's going to be a segment of our own population that wants to root for an American,
Oh man, I'm gonna just say this right now, man. When you have like somebody that's running your career. And the question, like with Tank's career, the main question is, and I had this question with one of my neighbors yesterday. When is he going to cash out on Tank and make the big money fight with Tank? Yes, and when we heard that press conference, it seemed like he's never plans on cashing out on him.
Well, he's young.
Comfortable.
He's young. Who else does he have in his stable that's going to be the one?
Ricky Romero, like his stable is not that big because Bottom Jack, Rocky Romero, like Bottom Jack's not going to make you that much anymore because he's probably going to move up to cruiserweight, and cruiserweight in America is not really much notice as it is in Europe.
By the way, PBC put on a fantastic fight on free TV on Fox TV yesterday, and was it those cruiserweights that stole the show right before the main event? Everyone's talking about the former college football player who ended up taking that fight. 2 undefeated cruiserweights.
I think so.
Yeah, everyone's still talking. I don't even know their names, man, but they apparently stole the show. and going back to this, just trying to wrap up our thoughts on this Gervonta Davis thing, man. If he's the next phenom. You brought up some names like, man, I don't even know who in the PBC stable, but Raleigh Romero is a guy that thinks he's championship medal at 135 pounds. So maybe that's a sacrificial lamb, a Raleigh Romero type. I mean, he does have power. They can sell it to us. I don't know who he's going to fight over at PBC, man, but two big names everyone seems to be talking about that are legitimate. You got Mikey Garcia, who's a free agent. And you got Regis Prograis, two real solid tests, two people that I think could absolutely. Mikey Garcia is way more of a household name. Now, those two names could be pay-per-views, but the Mikey Garcia one, for me, is a fight that I wouldn't mind seeing at 140 pounds. Two guys who were lightweights, even smaller than that.
I don't even think Floyd risks giving him the matchup with Regis Prograis because he's a top fighter in that division. And he can cause a lot of problems to Tank.
And active, too. And to remind people, he's active. Like, if you take the Mikey fights, Mikey is very inactive. Mikey balloons up to as high as 160. Some people say he weighs 170 pounds off season. Not off season, but off when he's not fighting. That's pretty high. Is that the better fight? Is that the safer fight of Mikey Garcia?
It's probably the safer fight, but I don't know. Here's my issue with him. He's going to go to different divisions. He can't go up anymore. You think he's going to go up to 147 and try to get a belt up 147 after this because he ain't going to try to fight for the undisputed crown because Josh Taylor's on top rank and everything. But this is what I look at it. And I was watching the zone ranks, like the pound for pound, no pound for pound. And there's man, you disappoint me.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Let's briefly talk about that. Let me pull that up. The DAZN top 10, because they put out their list today of pound for pound, right? DAZN pound for pound fighters. And
we're gonna do our pound for pound top 10 too, Dave. Let's do our pound for pound top 10.
Oh, I haven't written one out, but I just want to see who their top fighters are. Canelo Alvarez, of course. Terrence Crawford, Teofimo Lopez Sr. This is no specific order. Inoue, Errol Spence Jr. Is that the right list? They just put it out today, right? That's not the current list. But they have Josh Taylor on the list now. That's a welcome.
You know what?
I'm welcome. I talked about that on the roundtable that I was upset he wasn't yet on people's pound for pound lists.
I really think Canelo's number 1. I think Josh Taylor's number 2. I think Errol Spence is number 3. Number 4, I will probably pick Inoue. Number 5, Terrence Crawford. Number 6, I'll probably go Tyson Fury. Number 7, Teofimo. Number 8, Lomachenko. Number 9, Anthony Joshua. And number 10, Jamil Charlo. Not Jamal, Jamil Charlo, because Jamal hasn't fought nobody.
You're talking about the 100. By the way, the 154 pound unification or undisputed, right, for Castaño is coming up. That's going to be a great fight. I mean, between a power pressure fighter, Castaño, who recently, he just got his title and he's willing to risk it all, and that's a great fight. And you specifically mentioned not the other Charlo brother, who I think his showing recently, man, I'm still buzzing about that because I don't know if he beats Jaime Munguia. I don't know if he beats Triple G with a performance like that.
I think the only way he can beat Jaime Munguia and Triple G if he boxes, because I just don't see him. I don't see him really going toe to toe with these guys and doing it for 12 rounds. I just don't see it because that guy that he beat was stopped by Jaime Munguia.
Right.
So kind of didn't really make a difference. And then he's telling people, oh, you got to fight this guy before considering fight me and everything. Okay, Jaime Munguia gets to fight you then if he fought him already. He knocked him out. So when's he going to fight you then? Isn't he the mandatory now for Charlo?
I think so, man. But of course, those cross promotional things, man, like they're just making so much things difficult between PBC. If it's not like Deontay Wilder, they're willing to go the extra mile for a super fight, but then these other fighters like Tank and the Charlos, like to make a fight with DAZN or ESPN, it's like a world of drama, you know?
But you know what? That's why they make post bids.
Mm.
And the
Mhm.
post bid is the democracy.
Listen, I want to get, before we wrap up the show, there's very little boxing next week. One guy that I've been very excited about, Chris Colbert, he was going to fight Gamboa. Gamboa had to pull out of the fight. That wasn't a good fight. Like, Chris Colbert's an exciting fighter. That wasn't going to be an exciting fight. He's going to now be fighting a Thai guy on Saturday on Showtime. Keep Showtime's momentum going. He's an exciting fighter, but for them to start throwing around Chris Colbert, who's a 130-pound fighter from Brooklyn, as an opponent to Tank, when you just saw, like, that's not a good look. You know what I mean? That's like pulling these small guys again. I know Tank fought Leo Santa Cruz at 130, but I don't want to see that. Like, that's what we're probably going to be seeing them do, using their PBC stable fighters at lower weights, pulling them up, or making guys lose weight. But did you have a chance to watch David Morrell, the PBC 168-pound Cuban fighter? Because our friend...
Absolutely.
All right, so check it out. So Raw Boxing interviewed him extensively, like months ago, and I happened to get in that chat, and I think I called in and got to ask David Morrell some questions, man. I really, really enjoyed his interview and talking to him. He's adopted Minneapolis, Minnesota as his home. It's not a big Cuban town, and they sold a lot of seats, man. For a Sunday, that Armory, people were buzzing about the Armory. He knocked out Cazares. Now, Cazares is a guy who recently, his last fight was against Chavez Jr. He made Chavez Jr. quit. He has a win over Canelo Alvarez in either his amateur career or whatnot. And like, people are always like, oh, this guy Cazares might be something, as he's a big super middleweight, Mexican, he's tough. But I've been high on David Morrell, man. David Morrell made beyond easy work of the guy. But did you watch if you watch the slow replay, there was a nasty rabbit punch. And it didn't bother me when I was watching it live because it happened so fast. And I thought maybe it wasn't intentional. But if you watch the replay, the guy, Cazares, he was like wobbling like crazy after that rabbit punch. His legs stumbled like a punch drunk. So, your thoughts on that rabbit punch, man?
First of all, David Morrell is gonna be a force in that division.
Yeah,
no questions about it. I have him beating Berlanga easily.
It's interesting. It's interesting because Berlanga took to social media after that fight and he attacked Cazares. He didn't even mention David Morrell. He attacked Cazares. He was saying, boy, I would have put you in the hospital. Seeing what you did, you had the nerve to talk shit about me. I would have put you in the hospital. But he made no mention of David Morrell. That's interesting, man. David Morrell, he's going to quickly become a star. Being on free TV like that and knocking people out with a power shot like that from the left hand. I mean, he had to put David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, two top 168-pound fighters over there, on notice.
But you know what? I gotta be honest, because I heard this on another on YouTube. Somebody said that, or somebody called in on the show and they said, David Benavidez calls all these guys out, but he doesn't fight nobody still. And I looking at it, I'm trying to think about that statement, and I'm like, you know what? Makes a point. He hasn't fought nobody by Anthony Durrell. And he's calling all these guys out, even though probably, they're making excuses and everything, but he still hasn't fought a big name.
How quick before you think David Morrell gets a shot at one of those guys? Caleb Plant is a world champion. People he's hoping to get $10 million to fight Canelo, but David Benavidez is available.
Did he get a belt out of this fight?
Yeah,
like a WBA belt.
WBA. That's the theme of the weekend, bro. WBA regular champion. WBA regular champion. What is a regular champion?
But here's the thing. I just want to. if okay, he has a regular belt now, which you can count it as a regular belt. He can go and fight these guys. He can go fight these guys now if he wants. If he's already have a regular belt by sanctioning body, means you're taking 12-round fights, and I really think Morel can fight maybe a Benavidez, maybe after, what is he, 3-0 now? Because he did it faster than Lomachenko. He got a belt fast, that younger.
David Morrell's record, I don't know his exact record to pull it up. I think he's got a lot more fights than that. But, and he has an extensive Cuban amateur background.
Yeah,
But there's some guys like, there's the Caleb Truaxes at PBC, former champions. There's the Uzcategui from Venezuela. There's the Anthony Durrell. Those are the step-up guys that are going to be the bridge for him to get a fight and say, hey, I'm ready for you, David Benavidez, title eliminator, to get that Caleb Plant. Because we're not for sure Caleb Plant's going to get this Canelo fight, man. But if everything works out, it will happen.
If this fight doesn't happen, I don't understand how PBC is in business. They're not willing to cross-promote to make big fights. Because the way they're going now, PBC's not going to be around.
Well, some of these guys may have to leave if they don't see the benefit. Some of them may have to leave when their contracts are up. But by the way, now that I remember, David Morrell made a very good point of talking to Raw Boxing about his quest to face Canelo Alvarez someday. And that certainly seems like it's a possibility someday, Like, we weren't talking about it recently. I haven't been talking about it recently, but the more and more I see David Morrell, and he's going to be fighting at 168 for the foreseeable future, that could be a possibility someday.
And I'll tell you the truth, he can only get better as it goes. Because here's the thing, I'm a big fan of Cuban fighters. I'm a big fan of the Cuban boxing style in general. So this guy can keep doing what he's doing. I know they're trying to fast track him right now because they're trying to get another name in that division under their belt. But in about maybe next year, in the middle of next year, hopefully, you got this kid fighting David Benavidez.
Yeah, that would definitely be an exciting fight. Now, I just want to point out, man, Berlanga talks a lot on social media, and unfortunately, Top Rank has all these great fighters at 135, cream of the crop there. They've got all the great fighters at 140, but 168 has always been thin, and that's why Zurdo Ramirez left. He left, and he went free agent, and now he signed something with DAZN. You'll be seeing Zurdo Ramirez soon, now a light heavyweight, but Top Rank doesn't have a lot of guys at 168 for a prospect like Berlanga. I want to see Berlanga mix it up with some of these guys that we're just talking about. I want to see him in with a David Morrell.
Oh, I forgot to tell you about this. I don't know if you watched the fight before the Loma fight. I forget the guys. It was a middleweight fight. I forget the guy's name from Kazakhstan. And wait,
the one last weekend? You're talking about the bully?
No, I'm talking about the on the Loma card.
Oh yeah,
there was
okay.
a fight right before. He fought this former WBA champion, forget his Bryant, and he comes out of the McIntyre gym just as Terrence Crawford and Jamal Herring come out of.
Yeah, Brandt lost that fight.
Bryant.
It went bad for him.
Tell you the truth.
Former champion too.
That guy from Kazakhstan, if I can pronounce his name, I'm not trying to butcher his name. He's going to be a problem. The way he fights. He's a terrific counterpuncher.
I now remember it, Kazakh style. He put it on his shorts.
Yeah, Kazakh style. He is a terrific counterpuncher, and I really think he can be a problem at middleweight. And if Top Rank does it right, they'll have no middleweight in that stable, and I think it'll be him.
Yeah, you did mention it. There was so many exciting. I mean, even the DAZN card, the co-main event at DAZN featuring a couple of welterweights from Mexico, And that was those guys put up fire. I can't even think of their names, but it was a fantastic co-main event, as almost everything this weekend was really, really good. But I want to wrap up the show, Drew, and I appreciate everybody. Nopal Baxianos, gracias for tuning in. Thank you. Drew, I think it's headed in that direction where there's another bet. I think Chicano Prophet, who called in, I think he may want to take you on and challenge you to some type of bet or some type of debate of wits, specifically about the Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez Part 2. That's exciting. I think that would be something the fans might be interested. Are you up for that?
I think a lot of people want to debate me on Lomachenko versus Teofimo too, and I think a lot of people want to start calling me fanboy. But
I know.
Be careful what you.
Well, let's do this. Let's put it out here. Saludos, A-Rod83 Boxillo. Everyone go check out his new channel, man. Everything's been going great over there. I appreciate you coming in here and talking with us. So, yeah, if anybody wants to debate, that invitation is extended to Chicano Prophet. I think what we need to do is go back and debate the scorecard on the first fight. Come on. That's a good one. You've got it 7-5. Let's invite Chicano Prophet to come on and do his scorecard. And we could do that as a preview to Part 2. The rematch.
Well, I can just tell him. I tell you the same thing. I had him winning rounds 5-11.
I know, but I want to break it down. Let's make some content. All right, Drew. So my final thoughts are, man, if you it's a holiday 3-day weekend, man. If you can't watch boxing this weekend, I guarantee you Chris Colbert is going to put on a show. Catch it if you can. I do have some news, man. Tim Tszyu, the son of the great Costa Tszyu, is supposed to fight Zarafa, who's like kind of a fringe contender from Australia, a big name in Australia. Tim Tszyu's quickly becoming a big star. COVID is hitting Australia hard again, and they just postponed that fight. So, and that
Chicano.
fight, yeah, what'd he say?
So you need to listen to the whole statement before you say something.
No, he did not have Loma. That was last week's show.
Calm down now.
All right. No, we appreciate everyone calling in, and this is a friendly debate forum, man. So if you want to partake, hit me up on the DMs at the Mike and Dave one, and we'll figure out some content for the Shoeshine. Drew, your parting words?
A lot of these people really need to start hearing people better. But let's get to it.
There are supporters, Drew. It's an active debate. It's an active forum for open for debate.
Yeah, and they need Jesus too. But
Come on.
let's get back to it. At the end of the day, Chicano Prophet did not get his wish on me hating on Teofimo, supposedly because he claims that I'm a hater. And a lot of people, and then a couple of people claim I'm a fanboy of Lomachenko. Guys, I take being called a fanboy as disrespect to me.
Oh my God.
You're assaulting my intelligence at the end of the day.
You don't think it's just
like,
trying to get in your head space, trying to get in your
I
skin?
think they're assaulting my intelligence, and they can't take my opinion. They take it to heart. They and Chicano. I have to point him around the streets wearing that Canelo gear as a billboard and be like this. Guys, make sure you buy the next Canelo fight. This is the Canelo fan. We turn him around a couple times. This is all the gear you buy at Canelo.com and everything. And Chicano's probably gonna make a portion of that profit for wearing the gear. So make sure you look out for Chicano Profit, man, when you buy that Canelo gear.
Oh man.
Make sure you buy most of that gear too, please, because I damn sure will help my boy out.
This is gonna be a good debate, but you got to be open to it. And it has to be timed, 60-second rounds probably. And remember,
we can talk about the fight. We can talk about the first fight. We can talk about the second fight. What's going to happen? We can talk about opponents because there was a guy in this one chat named T White saying Loma didn't fight nobody. Let me tell you something, Chicano, you probably know the dude, so you could probably leave less messages to him. Nicholas Waters, Orlando Salido, Pajaja,
Gary Russell
Regan
Jr.
Dow,
No, I know who
Gary
you're
Russell
talking about.
Jr.
That guy would be very entertaining for you to debate because Gary Russell Jr., it sounds like he's saying the great Olympian
saying
Gary
he's
Russell
nobody.
Jr. is a nobody. But
He's saying all these guys are nobodies. Jorge Linares, he's saying he's a nobody too. You need to tell that boy, don't talk about Larry Holmes to me, bro, when you don't even know a resume, when you don't even know boxers today. Don't come at me with that Larry Holmes bullshit.
man, you on fire, man.
Now, I'm just tired of
There's-
people
there-
being stupid, man, on top, like really, literally being stupid and don't know as they're saying stuff out their mouth because they want to get noticed.
A quick question from Chicano, because I do want to wrap up this show, man. We got to do other things than just boxing. But it's just,
Yeah, he's
how
gotta
come
do
you
more.
don't have Saunders on your pound for pound?
Because he fucking lost the Canelo.
I think that's a BS question, man. All right, guys, I appreciate everyone from tuning in, man. I know there's so many shows competing, and if you take the time to hang with us, man, I appreciate you. It's all family, it's all love. It's the Shoeshine Monday nights, and everyone go out and have a blessed 4th of July weekend coming ahead. And get the word out, subscribe to the Shoeshine. If you haven't subscribed to us, leave us a comment, good or bad, thumbs up, thumbs down, just give us anything, man. Chicano Prophet says, just having fun, brothers, of course, man. Peace out, Chicano Prophet. Peace out to everyone that supports us. True. I'll see you next Monday. Peace.
Or Monday after.
Monday after. Peace, everyone.